Have you ever stopped to think whether you're running in the right direction or just running? We were taught that progress is synonymous with accumulation, that financial growth is the ultimate sign of success. But what if this blind race for more money, more status, more productivity, is actually taking us further away from the life that truly matters? What if, by gaining more, we're slowly losing what is truly priceless: time, presence, meaning? Today, we're going to question one of the most revered pillars of our society: the idea that financial success is, by itself, a synonym for a better life. From an early age, we are shaped to associate financial growth with personal progress. The idea is simple, seductive, and widely accepted. If your income increases, your life improves. Earning more is seen as a clear sign of intelligence, competence, and above all, success. This is the invisible script that guides us, a path drawn with promises of security, respect, and freedom. The question is, what if this script is incomplete? At the heart of this narrative lies the glorification of productivity and performance. The logic is relentless. If you can produce more, you can earn more. If you earn more, you can consume more. If you consume more, theoretically, you're happier. But we're rarely asked if we want to live this way. No one stops to discuss the hidden cost of this equation: the time sacrificed, the health neglected, the relationships that become background noise in an increasingly automated routine. The constant pursuit of financial growth ends up trapping us in a cycle of permanent dissatisfaction. As our standard of living rises, so do the demands. What was an achievement yesterday becomes an obligation today, and what was once a dream quickly turns into a necessity. This cycle, often disguised as ambition, can become a prison built on goals, deadlines, and promises of a better future that never seems to arrive. The problem is that, by accepting this logic without question, we start measuring life in figures. We begin to see time as a resource to be optimized, hobbies as a waste of productivity, and moments of rest as laziness in disguise. In doing so, we stop living with presence and start living in a rush. And in this rush, we trade depth for efficiency, purpose for performance, and call it progress. This mindset is so deeply ingrained that we often don't even notice how it shapes our choices. We move to another city for a higher salary, accept longer work hours for annual bonuses, give up time with those we love for the promise of a promotion. And we do all of this convinced that we're moving forward. But are we really? Or are we slowly drifting away from what truly matters? What is progress, after all? Can it really be measured only by the numbers in a bank account or the size of a house? When we take a closer look, we realize that progress, in its deepest sense, should mean moving closer to a state of greater awareness, freedom, and personal fulfillment. But often, in chasing financial progress, we end up drifting away from these essential qualities. The promise of a better life turns into a constant race, where the horizon is always just ahead, unreachable. True freedom doesn't lie in accumulation, but in the autonomy to live according to our own values. And here's the paradox: the more we rely on money to justify our choices, the less free we become. Time, perhaps our most precious asset, is traded without hesitation for overtime, higher positions, bigger salaries, as if life could be put on hold while we build so-called stability. But what if that stability is just a comfortable illusion, created to justify sacrifices that, deep down, make no real sense? Purpose also gets lost along the way. At some point, we stop asking, "What for?" and start asking only, "How much?" How much will this pay off? How much will it cost? How much will I earn? And so, life starts to resemble a spreadsheet, where anything that doesn't yield immediate returns seems to lose its value. But maybe true progress isn't about how much we can accumulate. It's about how close we can get to a life with more meaning, more presence, and more truth. Think about those mornings when the alarm goes off and all you want is one more hour of sleep. But you get up hurriedly, not because you're excited about the day ahead, but because there are bills to pay, goals to hit, expectations to meet. The routine becomes an automatic script where time isn't truly lived, it's merely endured. And still, at the end of the month, when the paycheck hits your account, there's that brief sense of relief, followed by a new race. This silent cycle feels normal. But is it really natural? How many times have you turned down an invitation to be with friends or family because you had to work? How many times have you postponed a simple dream, like learning something new, traveling without a destination, or just spending an afternoon doing nothing? Because you thought it wasn't the right time? And that moment, oddly enough, never comes. Because there's always a new financial goal, a new responsibility, a new justification. We stack up postponements as if life were a filing cabinet, where someday we'll finally have time to live. And even in our achievements, something feels off. We buy a better car, move to a new apartment, climb the career ladder. And yet, for some reason, we still feel empty. Because deep down, maybe it wasn't what we truly wanted. We were just following a script that seemed right. Everyday life is full of these signs. Small discomforts, awkward silences, the feeling of being too busy yet barely connected. They quietly reveal that maybe the cost of the progress we're chasing is higher than we imagined. Maybe it's time to redefine what we call progress. It's not about denying the value of money, but about remembering that it's just a means, never the end. What's the point of earning more if it costs us the life we actually want to live? True growth might lie in learning to say no to what pulls us away from ourselves, and yes to what brings us closer to what truly matters. If this reflection sparked something in you, subscribe to the channel. Here, we keep questioning the obvious, aiming not just to enrich your wallet, but also your awareness.